Good to be with you. I'm Tony DeCopel. The breaking news right now.
There should be accountability.
Outrage in Madison, Wisconsin following a fatal police shooting. A protester takes over a press conference in the state capitol today. 4 officers now under investigation. And why is there no body camera video? Also breaking, 2 stabbings in broad daylight near Central Park in New York City. The details just coming in. Another outbreak of that parasitic illness that has already sickened thousands in more than 40 states, and still no word on what's causing it and what happened to a pregnant woman who got it. 13 million under alerts in 7 states. This as Tropical Storm Bertha makes a second landfall, pushing its way into Texas. The Nancy Guthrie ransom note for the first time tonight. The full contents revealed. What it said, what her suspected abductors wrote about her condition, and what they wanted from the family. Rushing into danger, that heart-pounding video, firefighters putting their lives on the line. And the good stuff tonight, the simple power of a game of catch.
From CBS News headquarters in New York, this is the CBS Evening News with Tony DeCopel.
And good evening. We begin with that breaking news out of Madison, Wisconsin. Just a day after police shot and killed a man in a busy intersection there. Police say the man had fled from officers, then pulled a fixed blade knife, injuring one officer who tried to use a taser before 3 shots were fired. Protests developed almost immediately. And then today, just moments ago, demonstrators walked into a police press conference and took the microphone. One woman holding a sign saying, quote, "Corrupt cops deserve to die too," and "Kill Peterson." The reference not clear, though a police chief Patterson right there in the room. Our Jonah Kaplan has more now on that extraordinary moment and everything that led up to it. Jonah, good evening.
Tony, good evening. We're just a few blocks away from the state capitol, and this right here, this is the spot where police shot and killed 38-year-old Corey Ruiz just about 24 hours ago. And that was a stunning moment. Never saw anything like that before. But it showed how the simmering tensions here, they're reaching a boiling point. As Madison's police chief detailed the independent investigation into Wednesday's shooting,
I'm not going to stand here today and render a verdict or an opinion about what the investigation will find, because I believe that will jeopardize what we all want, which is independence.
He then stood still, as did other city leaders, as protesters first interrupted, then stole the microphone.
Give me this microphone then, excuse me. That's right. This is the clown show. This is a puppet show.
This went on for more than 15 minutes, and when it resumed, the chief said this.
We've called for a thorough and independent criminal investigation into yesterday's shooting.
This new video obtained by CBS News shows 4 Madison police officers trying to revive a man they say had struggled with them during an arrest. The suspect died from gunshot wounds after police say he allegedly injured one officer with this knife. Video of the confrontation instantly went viral. Today in Madison, we met Jazz Brown, who says she grew up with Corey Ruiz, the victim in Wednesday's shooting. There was a picture of a big knife, right? How do you square that?
A badge isn't a license to kill.
The 4 officers involved have been put on leave.
This is an incredibly difficult moment for the Madison community. It does not matter who you are or what your past is. You should not lose your life as a result of an encounter with law enforcement.
There's an ongoing vigil right now, but it's interesting, Tony, that Madison Police Department, which right here in the state capitol, pretty progressive city, no body cameras on the police officers. So any investigation is going to depend entirely on witness statements and witness videos.
Jonah Kaplan leading us off. Jonah, thanks. We also have breaking news from New York City tonight. 2 men stabbed this afternoon near Central Park, just blocks apart. The victims are Asian and Jewish, and the attacks are being investigated as a possible hate crime. Our Tom Hansen has made his way to the scene of one of those stabbings. Joins us now. Tom, good evening. What are you learning?
Hey there, Tony. Good evening to you. Well, take a look behind me. You can see that this is still an active scene. We're just steps away from where the suspect carried out one of these stabbings. Here's what we know so far. Police say around 1:30 p.m. this afternoon, officers responded to a call where a 57-year-old Asian man was found stabbed in the torso on the Upper West Side, a residential neighborhood here in Manhattan. Now, the suspect fled the scene and 12 minutes later stabbed a 50-year-old Jewish man outside a synagogue just blocks away from the first incident. The man then received medical attention from paramedics. Police say the suspect then fled and barricaded himself inside a nearby apartment. After a brief negotiation, the suspect surrendered himself to police at 2:45 this afternoon. Witnesses say the suspect, 51-year-old Raul Morales, yelled "Allah Akbar" during both of those attacks. He has 7 prior arrests. And Tony, both men were transported to nearby hospitals. They are in stable condition. Police are still working to find a motive, Tony.
Tom, thank you. Federal health officials say they're now investigating an additional outbreak of that parasitic illness, a new one from the same parasite, though they haven't said where the new cases are or what food may be tainted. And on that tonight, Taylor Farms has reportedly shut down the plant with lettuce suspected of starting the initial outbreak, the one that sickened thousands now in at least 41 states. Here's CBS News correspondent Carter Evans.
Abigail Lamont is finally starting to feel better weeks after becoming infected with cyclospora.
I have never been miserable like that in my life. Never.
She believes she ingested the parasite after eating at a Michigan Taco Bell in late June. She spent almost a week in the hospital where doctors were unable to prescribe the standard treatment because she's pregnant.
Were you afraid for the baby?
Yes, I was very afraid. But the worse I got, the more I thought this can't be good for the baby either.
Her story is just one of the more than 1,600 FDA-confirmed cases of cyclosporiasis in 5 states, where people reported eating at Taco Bell between May 13th and July 13th. The Wall Street Journal is reporting that public health authorities told Taco Bell executives on July 14th that lettuce from Taylor Farms was the suspected cause. The same day, Taco Bell said it voluntarily removed limited ingredients at select restaurants as a precautionary measure. Today, Taylor Farms is reportedly temporarily shutting down its Mexican processing facility linked to that outbreak. And now the FDA is reporting another cyclospora outbreak that has infected at least 72 people, but there's no information linking it to the outbreak tied to iceberg lettuce.
Certainly, there could be other sources of cyclospora in the food chain.
Epidemiologist Anne Ramoyne says the U.S. sees cyclospora infections every year during warmer months between May and August.
Might we see more cases of cyclosporiasis related to other exposures? We're definitely going to continue to see more cases. This is a disease that is endemic in many of the places where we get our produce, and this should highlight it to everybody, the importance of food safety.
We've reached out to the FDA on these latest cases, but the agency has given us no new information. Tony?
Carter, we also understand there's now an egg recall potentially related to a deadly salmonella bacteria. What do you know on that?
That's right. Midwest Poultry Services is recalling 1.6 million eggs over concerns that they could be contaminated with salmonella, which can be fatal for some people with weakened immune systems. Now, those eggs were sold under multiple brand names, including Kroger, Simple Truth, Brookshire's, Country Morning, and Sunups. The FDA also reported another salmonella outbreak yesterday, but that has sickened 106 people. And they didn't give any further information on that one either. Tony?
We'll keep asking. Carter, thank you. There's widespread flooding tonight in North Carolina, one of 7 states under flood alerts impacting more than 13 million people. This is Tropical Storm Bertha has moved into Texas. Meteorologist Rob Marciano tracking it all.
North Carolina soaked by heavy rain. Storms riding a stalled out front have already dumped more than 7 inches over parts of the state. Most counties are under a flood watch. More than 800 miles away, Tropical Storm Bertha has just made a second landfall along the Texas Gulf Coast. It comes on the heels of Tuesday's historic flooding in West Virginia that's left at least 2 people dead. State police say they found an overturned vehicle in Upshur County that could be related to the 2.
It went from inches of water to feet of water within minutes.
From her 3rd floor apartment in Weston,
Oh my gosh!
Nicole Bennington shot this video as her neighbor's car was swept down the street.
The water came down that street like a river.
Several feet surrounded her building. When it receded, she went outside and saw cars piled up in a storm drain.
We're just covered in mud. We're covered in mud and a lot of the oil and the grease and the debris from the cars because the flash flood came like that.
A lot of cleanup yet to be done there, but the heaviest rain has moved down to the south into the Carolinas, and we've got flash flood alerts as well in the monsoon in the Intermountain West also. But more energy is coming down the pipe. So tomorrow, along that stalled frontal boundary that caused all the rain today, we're going to have it again tomorrow. It'll stretch all the way back through Kansas City, down through Memphis, across Alabama, Georgia, and into the Carolinas once again, where the highest flood risk will be across eastern North Carolina. Tonight, though, Asheville, we've got flash flood warnings that are happening there. We'll be watching that closely. As we are, Bertha, thankfully inland now, but still a tropical storm will be decreasing in strength over the next several hours as it moves rapidly to the west pretty quickly there. Houston, you're in the path of this, but it is weakening. There are some showers that will be lingering there. Cooling some of East Texas today, thankfully, but the heat continues to build across parts of Southern California, Arizona, and again, well up into the northern Rockies, where we'll probably see records fall in places like Billings, Rapid City, and Denver. Temperatures there over the weekend up and over 100 degrees. Tony?
Rob, thank you. Tonight, CBS News can report that Trump administration officials are worried about the rapid pace at which the U.S. military has been using defensive interceptors and long-range missiles in this war with Iran. Meanwhile, the fighting continues. Senior national security correspondent Charlie D'Agata now with late developments.
Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps staged its own show of force, releasing videos said to show multiple drone and missile launches aimed at U.S. targets and regional allies. This comes as the U.S. continues to strike Iranian positions and threatens harsher retaliation.
The president's policy is a head for an eye. I mean, honestly, that's what it's going to be. I mean, they will pay a very heavy price.
Tonight, it appears the U.S. military is preparing to expand the military campaign to a much larger operation. In addition to squadrons of fighter jets, refueling aircraft, and more than 150 medics. Multiple B-1 long-range bombers have been seen headed to this region from the U.K., capable of carrying 24 2,000-pound bombs. But the bomber provides President Trump with options, like bombing Pickaxe Mountain, suspected of hiding elements of Iran's nuclear program. Meanwhile, the Iranian-backed Houthis in Yemen have threatened to close the Bab el-Mandeb Strait, choking off another vital waterway for oil and sending prices soaring above $100 per barrel. The Houthis claim to have struck 2 Saudi Arabian oil tankers, prompting this warning from President Trump. If they do this again, major military punishment will be inflicted upon Iran. So with all of those U.S. military assets in place, President Trump warned tonight he's considering a massive attack, his words, bigger than anything before, and saying he's close to that decision. Tony?
And Charlie, of course, the longer this war goes on, the more the U.S. military goes through its stockpile of weapons. How concerned should we all be?
Yeah, Tony, it's complicated because there are so many variables. Few would question whether this operation is burning through munitions. It is, and stockpiles are lower than most military planners would like. Eventually, that could pose a problem. But that may be one reason why the Department of Defense is seeking the biggest budget ever. Tony?
Charlie, thank you very much. Still ahead tonight, what we know about the Nancy Guthrie ransom note, the full contents revealed. New tonight, nearly 6 months after the apparent abduction of Nancy Guthrie, we can now report on the full contents of that first ransom note, a note that police believe may have come from the person or people who took her from her own home that night in Arizona. Here's senior national correspondent Mark Strassman.
We have your mother, Nancy. She is safe but scared.
Nancy Guthrie's original ransom note opens ominously and stays that way in excerpts read aloud for the first time on a crime podcast.
She will be held for ransom.
The 84-year-old Guthrie vanished from her Arizona home back in February. She left behind a blood trail by the front door, a mystery-armed suspect in doorbell camera imagery, and a wrenching limbo for Savannah Guthrie, her daughter and the Today Show co-anchor.
I cry every morning on the way to work, and I cry every morning on the way home.
New details in the note read today. Kidnappers would hold Nancy Guthrie for a maximum of 7 days. Their promise to return her within 12 hours of deposit. and this explicit warning if the $6 million in Bitcoin deadline was missed.
She will be killed. Your mother is aware of this.
The Guthrie family has received multiple ransom notes. Some were fake, opportunistic money grabs. But investigators take seriously 2 of them, including this one read aloud.
The 2 notes that we received, that we responded to, I tend to believe those are real.
And Tony, our friend correspondent Jonathan Vigliotti has seen the original note and confirmed what we heard today is from that note. But who wrote it, who the suspect is in that doorbell cam imagery, and most of all, what happened to Nancy Guthrie are all part of the same mystery. That means the anguish of not knowing goes on for the Guthrie family. This is still an active investigation. Police are asking for tips. The number is 1-800-CALL-FBI.
Meanwhile, the days keep going by. Mark, thank you very much. When we come back, a rare look inside the dangerous effort to save a burning home. We're back with a rare look tonight at what it really takes to fight a fire. A call came into Sacramento this week, 2 homes ablaze and the body camera rolling as Sacramento's bravest rush in. Pitch black smoke, the team pulling hoses through the debris until they reach an absolute inferno on the 2nd floor. They aim the hose upward, create some space, and just keep attacking it until both houses are saved, and doing so in the face of temperatures that can run from 600 degrees to well over 1,000. No injuries reported. Amazing. Now to a special delivery in Memphis.
What you gonna do with this big thing?
Here's Titan. That's a pet iguana whose guy unboxed him at the FedEx office this week. Titan jumped, then the workers jumped.
Yes.
Everyone is okay, we can report, including Titan. And by the way, we looked this up. FedExing iguanas is allowed. Priority overnight, Mondays through Thursdays, so the animals don't get left over the weekend. And in hero news of a different sort, a man in a wheelchair struggling to cross the street before the light changed in Jonesboro, Arkansas, was rescued by a Spider-Man who dashed out of a red Jeep and got him safely to the other side. This particular Spider-Man had just gotten off work at a trampoline park nearby, apparently on Superhero Day, and he just wanted to help. He did. When we come back, the good stuff, how a simple game of catch became so much more for this father and son. We're back with the good stuff. The story of a dad who's figured out a perfect formula for fatherhood, a daily game of catch. He and his son Colby started about this time last summer. They were throwing the ball around, and Dad thought, wouldn't it be the coolest thing ever if we played catch every day for a whole month? No, Colby said, let's do it for a year. And so it began.
Day 83 of playing catch with my dad every day for a whole year.
They've been documenting every single day of it, usually in the family's backyard in Twin Falls, Idaho, often with Colby's older brother or younger sister joining in. They do it no matter the weather or how late Reed gets home from work. And it hasn't always been easy, but Reed says it's been infinitely worth it.
I think that there needs to be a lot more intentional parenting in the world, especially between fathers and sons. And being able to fill that role with my own sons is, I don't know that there's much more of a higher calling that you can find in the world.
Day 235. It's almost been a full year now. August 2nd will be day 365, an amazing milestone for Dad. But for Colby, just another day.
I just feel like we're playing catch. I don't really think it's like something important or anything.
That might be the trick of it all.
I think it is, but I'm hoping that he's going to look back on this in 20, 30, 40 years and realize, wow, those are some really, really great memories that I was able to make with my dad.
I think he will, Pop. Well done. That's another day in America. I'm Tony DeCopel. For all of us here at CBS News, thank you for watching. We'll see you right back here tomorrow. Good night.